I just realized I was muted the whole time, so I would say that one more time here. Welcome back, everybody, to the Omega Esports League Focus Prevail Series Week 2. I am Ravishing Ravish, the most ravishing man on the internet, joined here by Rude. Rude, how are you feeling after that absolute stomp of a last game? So before we go into the draft for a second, too, I'm gonna need you to define faffing for me, dude, because I'm not. What is faffing? Oh, so like lollygagging. See, why couldn't you say simple words like that? See, man, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about here, man. But in terms of draft, though, as you mentioned here, as you all see in just a couple of seconds, it will be a Leona and Misfortune bot lane, joined by the Senna Tom Kench. Now, if you've heard the name Senna Tom Kench before, because I know I personally have, if you watch any sort of pro game, especially when Senna came out, that was a very classic duo now because they have Nurse Tom Kench as you has one along. But Tom Kench is essentially just a get out of jail free card for every ADC. He does not have an engage. He does have a bit of a slow with his tongue lash, but all he is essentially meant for is to save the people around him. Right? He's not somebody who can really create plays or engage for their team. So on the side of OG right now, we're not seeing much engage here at all, except besides maybe the set. Right? And set does have the showstopper, able to break somebody into the team. But I'm gonna be honest here, Rude. I don't like set as a jungle. I don't think he contributes much, especially since his nerfs at all. His farming is slow. He really only has his face breaker as the kind of main source of damage. And like in terms of ganks to his gank potential is weak. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not liking the draft too much from OGA.
Okay, I like the candidness, the honesty right here. I'm gonna agree with you. It's fairly telegraphed the set ganks for sure, isn't it? He kind of presses
Yeah.
his Q, he runs at you, and then you can tell what's coming next. But
Yeah,
overall, I want to talk a little bit about the bans and stuff that happened as well in the draft. So we
definitely.
saw immediately from Corsairs, an Ezreal was first ban. Um, and then a Zac ban came through as well. So definitely some adaptations being made from Corsairs, not giving OGA the same, anywhere near the same potential to draft the same way they did in game one. Another thing to mention was that Vi was banned on the side of OGA, so they banned out the Vi in the first game. This time they allowed it to go through, so Newman getting his hands on the Vi. Maybe we'll see if and why that was banned. We'll be eager to see whether Newman can have a better performance and a better performance from the rest of Corsairs as well. There's definitely a winning bot lane for Corsairs this time round. MF Leona. MF is a really good lane bully, and when you pair that with a nice engaged support of Leona, I'd like to see Corsairs hopefully have their run of the bot lane early on.
And see, like that's the thing too, though. As you mentioned, Rude, early on in the bot lane, you want to see them go ahead and engage. But the problem there too is that even if Leona does get his Zenith Blade onto the center, or even the Tom Kench, with the stun coming out as well, though, Tom Kench is going to swallow up center and walk away yet again. His disengage is so strong, even with the tongue lash, if it does catch Leona out on bush. There's not going to be a ton of chances there for to go ahead and engage. So it will require a lot of coordination to be able to take out the Tom Kench or lock down the center permanently if they are to be able to snowball the bot lane. As if that is the plan on the side, of course there is. But I will say though, I like the Yorick pick a lot. Yorick is one of my personal favorites in the top lane as well. So I'm gonna definitely gonna want to see Mint heavily pushing in top lane, try to roam down mid, or even go TP or even go for the kind of TP play bot. especially once he's able to hit 6 and is able to get the maiden too. That maiden can just go down lane, be able to push it, and pretty much get towers by herself. So I'm thinking Corsair is trying to split push to win. Probably maybe slow ball mid down as well. But we'll see what happens right after a short break. Don't click that mouse button. Welcome back, everybody, to the Omega Esports League Focus Profile Series on week 2. As always, I am Ravishing Ravish, joined here by Rude. As we get right into game 2 here, Rude, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And are OGA going to run away with it yet again? Or are we going to see a comeback here from Corsairs?
I think, honestly, we could see a comeback here. There's definitely a lot of potential for Corsairs to play this game out well. Newman, I feel like, has got a lot more of a comfort pick on this Vi. It was banned away from him in game 1, and something inside of me is just telling that he's going to feel a lot more comfortable and be able to do a lot more work on this Vi earlier on. They were much easier to execute team comp as well, a lot more reliable scaling coming out from them. Victor's going to be a late game monster, and Misfortune as well is going to be no slouch in late game damage. They're probably going to look to 1-4, and I'm going to leave you to talk a little bit about this Yorick. You mentioned it earlier. What do you think he's going to want to accomplish later on during this game?
So I'm definitely looking to see if the Yorick is able to gain priority top and be able to roam down, at least make a play bot, or at least even if he doesn't get priority, once he hits 6, he will easily be able to out damage the Poppy. The Poppy is pretty tanky, but if he's able to out farm a little bit, summon the maiden and get stupid amounts of farm down, right? While doing that, if a split posture will roam down. York is a split pushing monster. So I am gonna need to see them probably go through about a 1-3-1 sort of avenue to be able to do so. But another win condition that we haven't talked about yet, either Rude, is a skin game going on. Now, I think likely what happened is that Corsairs heard we talked about last game about how the skin game was weak, and they stepped out heavy because we're rocking both Pool Party Leona and Misfortune matching skins game bot, but they're not going to be managed because they also have the Senna skin, which I believe that's the prestigious one. as well, along with the Coin Emperor Tom, as you see a bot dive already by level 2. She does get the strike onto Tom, and the Knight gets down, but he's able to simply walk away because he's Tom Kench.
Yeah, they didn't have the level 2 for Gargusly there. He was just had to walk up and get that stun in. He did manage to get it, but the cleanse and the flash from Oxy gets him away. They do have to burn 3 summoner spells though bot lane. Rapid fire, no flash. Oxy has no summoners at all. And already Newman, making his presence known early on in this game, going to be establishing bot lane priority for Corsairs, and they're going to be able to hopefully take advantage of these summoner spells burned. As we say though, they have reached level 2, so the disengage is there. And it looks like Set's walking his way down. Bachelwolf might want to try to do something bot lane here.
Yeah, they are pretty pushed up pretty far as Zebit comes out, stun comes in, so does the Facebreaker. Stun onto 2, and he's able to get the first blood onto the Misfortune. Beautiful stuff by the Set there though, with a Facebreaker and the Haymaker, that double combo. And she was right in the middle to kind of set it up for him. Able to take the first blood there though, but I would have to say, I would not want to see it on the Set. Although Set a great jungle, he would like to be going tanky, so I'd like to see that going over to rapid fire possibly.
Yeah, well, in those situations, without the flash, the Bachelwolf kind of had to secure that himself, and it was a very, as you say, very well timed gank, very well played, managing to find the timing in the vision, because Corsair hadn't managed to get that ward down yet, pushed up a little too far, disrespecting the presence of a potential gank down in the spot side. And in the end of the day, Bachelwolf managing to run himself down through the tri-bush, runs in, and it is a free gank for him. Super Yams burns both summoners, still falls, unfortunately. And he's going to pick up the cull on his first base.
Oh, easy stuff there. Though we were talking about how stats ranks are telegraphed. But the thing is, though, if you were that pushed up that far, the Facebreaker does land onto both of you. It's a huge stun there, though. So that is going to put Corsairs just a little bit ahead, but not by too much. We do some trading going down on top. Mint is just a little bit down with all the corrupting potion on both sides, but he's not down in farm though. Poppy, I would have to say that people don't realize, puts down a surprising amount of damage.
Yeah, the percentage HP damage, I believe it is, from her Q, or at least the second part of it, is going to be very dangerous at all points during this game. And obviously, if you get anywhere near a wall, Wrath is going to be looking for those strikes to try and take you into the wall, and then basically secures you free double part of the queue. We do see Newman though, level 4, getting an early Drake. Cloud Drake going the way of Corsairs early on. Going to give them the ultimate cooldown reduction as their champions tick over to level 6. Probably the best, I'd say, single Cloud Drake that there is, in my opinion, especially since it means that you don't get the Cloud Soul, which is typically a less coveted soul, something that we want to see less in a game. Teams typically preferring Ocean Soul for that insane in-combat healing.
Most definitely too, as now admit audio does a flash with the face, but it comes down to so does a stun. The Popularizer hammering strike, and the Haymaker is able to take him down yet again.
2 kills now, going the way of Bachelwolf. He's making his presence known early on. That's himself 2 kills with the Haymaker. And he looks like he's going for the Cinderhulk here, but he has diversified, built a longsword as well. Flash burn down bot lane. Looks like Gargusly's just going to be able to walk that one out though. And already this bot lane is...
You don't want to see behind.
Yeah, you don't want to see the bot lane of Leona Misfortune having to burn summoners defensively. I'd see them trying to be getting in there and getting aggressive. Do you say gank bot maybe?
Xenoblade does barely miss though, so Vi's not gonna go for her Q. He'll land anything onto the Tom Kent here though, so that's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, just gonna walk it away. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say too though, so it's like that's kind of been just 2 ganks there right onto the Tom Kench, which Vice just had to walk like pretty much, as you say, vault away. I'm sorry, I'll go ahead and take my leave.
We won't talk about those, okay? When was I casting with Freak? When did this get announced?
I sincerely apologize to everybody watching.
We're a fan. We
No.
like the effort. We like the effort for sure.
No, but yeah, so that's yet again, as we were mentioning though, that's 2 missed way to gank, and that's so much farm being lost. But she is not completely down on farm though. It's 40 to 45. We do see that, but the set does already have a Bombi Cinder on top of her. Will likely go build up his jungle item clearly above her. We're kind of seeing a standstill in the middle of the game. With this happening right now though, it will give time for the bot lane to be able to get their summons back up, especially with the Leona, where flash is almost essential. That Zenith Blade range is just a little bit too short, I find, for her, because she's missed a couple of them already bought. So I want to be able to land some as Poke lands onto both easily. These Senna's with their Q has been on point. They're getting consistent poke damage and being able to build up the souls. So really good job by her.
These piercing darknesses from Rapid Fire have been doing a lot of work, being able to find on multiple occasions instances of heals and damage, trying to get herself topped up, as well as Oxy in any case where it's needed to be done, but getting the passive procs. Obviously Senna does more damage on a second auto.
Yeah, let's see. Here's as Hero Charge not come out, your Steadfast Presence is launched, able to dissuade any sort of engage. Here it cannot. It comes out, stun lands onto Tom Catch. So does a Solar Flare, but the Grayson Darkness is too much as the all comes out from Misfortune. Bang bang and boom, the all comes out, but nobody dies unfortunately. As Vault Breaker comes out from the Vi, she is launched away by Poppy, but the Maiden does come out. He's getting so much damage onto the York. He has to go onto this. Vault Breaker does come out yet again. So with the re-engage from the Vi, they're able to lock down the kill. But that was looking a bit dicey for Mint though.
Yeah, they do get the kill. They are going to get some plates as well. So overall, a successful gank. They do manage to burn the flash of Father Wrath. And they look like with the Herald Spawn, they're going to try and take this top turret out and out. See a dive maybe bot lane with Badger Wolf here.
100% Badger. Sugam is so below as the Facemaker comes out. The Showstopper takes under turret, and the Haymakers will finish off yet again. That's 3 successful Haymakers on the side of Baja here. Clean pickoffs by him to, and yet again, it's just, we were talking about earlier about how like the set is won't be able to execute and how his dives are so obvious, but it seems as though so far he's been absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, the set's definitely doing work here. 3-0-0 right now. Got all of the kills on his team. All of the presence on the map. Getting himself farmed up and fed. But on the side of Corsairs here, they've got a gold lead, and it's mainly due to Newman, honestly. He got himself the early Cloud Drake. He's now gone and taken an early Rift Herald and translates that into a top lane turret all the way through. And it looks like they may be trying to go for a second Drake here. Bot lane is coming through the blue river.
Stun does land onto Baja, but so does the Facebreaker. As okay, so the bullet time come out, is able to get shut down onto Baja. But so the petrifying gaze, I don't think they're able to walk for the world. They're able to just simply walk away. But the Poppy comes out and gets the Steadfast Presence onto him with a heroic charge up against the wall. As the setter does land a stun onto the Vi. So are the Twin Fangs, but the poison, she will live. X are able to simply walk away, but the chase is coming out. They are under tower. They likely go for the dive, but it seems that they were just gonna walk away.
Yeah, they have no minions there, so in the end, they just decide that is going to be enough for them. They do lose the Drakes. That's 2 Drakes now, and they lose the fight as well, I believe. 2 kills, or the shutdown on Badger Wolf being given over to Newman right there. A good bullet time coming out over the top of the team. Super Yams there, making his abilities work for them. But the whole time Mint has been top lane.
Easy disengage by Mint there with the slow, the dark procession. But Poppy is here. They were stun the burst against the wall. As okay, slow comes out, and so does the Showstopper. It has to flash away. All just barely misses onto him, but they're going to chase him down. Poppy goes for the heroic charge and the slam onto him. And Mint does go down. kill over to the Poppy as he's skirmishes down the bot lane. Solar comes out, but just misses both Senna and Tom. Cares the Vault Breaker comes down, assault the battery with a dunk
TP
onto Ozzy. He goes golden. TP comes down as well, though. He comes on the backside. I see, but the bot lane is able to walk away, though, as both mid laners calm down.
Yeah, both mid laners there. TPing just to secure that nothing really goes out and no fights happen in this bot side. I'd just like to say how impressed I am compared from game 1 to game 2 here. Corsair have definitely stepped it up. The kill score might not look as good, but the gold lead is pretty much dead even right now, and Corsair are definitely well in the running for this second game. Newman has done a lot of work around the map, securing neutral objectives all over the place, with the presence to take away 2 Drakes, the Herald managing to get a top lane turret himself, and all of the plates that went down.
I think Oxy just wasted Abyssal Voyage. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think yeah.
I think they used it to go about 1,000 units.
Just to go a little bit farther lane there. It's just, you know what? I want to get to bot just a little bit faster. You know what? I respect it. I'm all for it. Who needs to walk it, right?
Exactly. A potential gank top here. Gets shut down immediately.
Immediately, the hammer comes down. And the verdict has been sent by you will not gank anyone today.
Yeah, he looked at the charging up the Vault Breaker, and then Father Af just says, nope, no thank you, go back to the river now. And Newman has no choice other than to accept that.
Of course, he's not, unless the lockdowns does rand onto Wrath, so it's their fast presence. You know, Poppy is pretty tanky, so even with the trading going on back and forth, I don't think he's going to be able to do much as well. The heroic charge kind of just pushes him away, but here's Baha. He does have ult up, but immediately gonna rush onto him with the ghost as the Facebreaker lands. The Haymaker is almost gonna finish him off and just a little few more autos. An easy pickup yet again for Baha. His 4th of the game.
Yeah, Mint there just not quite respecting the lack of vision that he had in the jungle. Felt safe because Newman was close by and had been for the last minute or so, but he just overstepped just a little too far. Good capitalization from Baha Wolf and Father Af there to take down this Yorick. And that is the issue with these split pushes, that they feel confident that they can maybe take a 2 versus 1. He didn't try it that time, but feeling themselves a little bit too much. And now he's going to fall for the 3rd time this game. And finally we see a neutral objective going the way of OGA. They get themselves the 2nd Herald of the game. First one for themselves. And they're maybe going to try and look to use it mid lane, but having said that, he's just going to walk away, going to get that recall off. Because there is an Ocean Dragon spawning in 20 seconds. And
I have to say here, Rude, it's so far, this is such a stark difference the first game we just had. It's only 50 minutes and only about 8 kills going down here, although 4 of them are for the advantage of Crosshair. It's a completely different vibe here, though, as both teams want to take their time, really do want to scale up and get their advantages too. As we do see the Zenith land onto Oxy, the stun comes out as well, but he is extremely tanky, isn't Tom catch this, so we're going to have to walk away.
It's all 5 people at bot lane now for OGA. Yeah.
Solar Flare does land, slows down Oxy, and that'll be it. That'll be enough to just tell them, no, we're fine. So somebody's going to go for the dragon here. So that'll be the first dragon of the game, actually, I believe, for the side of OGA. So good on them to make sure that they don't actually slow point. Revi is standing at the back, but they're just able to take it. Easy as that. And Mint at the top lane. See? Exactly what I was talking about, man. He's all able to make it at the top. He's a pushing machine here.
Yeah, this Yorick, even at 0-3-1, doesn't matter. He's got a 30 CS lead in the top lane, but he's got that Trinity Force. He's going to be pushing towers like a madman. We'll summon the Maiden. They'll go top lane. He almost gets the top lane inhibitor turret. And that, overall, is going to be a trade positive for OGA, but could see a fight mid.
Let's see. Now, so Roma does come out, so does he send out ult We're seeing Poppy in the middle of the fight as Stuart's stunned up, and Poppy's able to break down Vi with the actual hammer. Left Mustafa for the world as actually being chased down by the Poppy with consistent hammer skill coming out as Oxy trying to chase down Mint as well. She does get stunned right onto the wall. The Tin Fangs do putting out just too much damage. The poison takes them away, and that's a 2-0 on the side.
Yes, so Corsairs, they do get the first mid lane turret going their way, but it is going to be immediately traded back for OGA along with the 2 kills. And the gold, though, still dead even. The macro game coming out from Corsair has definitely been a lot better than last time we saw them out. Obviously, when you're down 6 kills and managing to keep a gold lead, or keep the gold even, they must be doing something right. There's gold CS advantages, rather, across the board. 20 CS top lane, 10 CS mid lane, and you have to sort of think about it a bit differently for bot lane, because with the fasting Senna, the support Tahm Kench doesn't really become a support, becomes more of a tank utility type champion. But Misfortune definitely out CSing both of the 2 bot laners, despite the fact that she has died twice.
I mean, unfortunately so, yeah, but she does already have the Essence Fever and a BF Sword, so I think they're going to go for a bit more crit on herself. We'll see if she actually, well, depends where she goes. It might be with a lifesteal, but because I do want to see just a little bit more damage coming out as Misfortune. I find that she's not having enough presence or enough damage in these fights at all. Even the bullet time coming out, it's barely able to take down Baja, as you saw a couple fights ago, though. And with this, and also on the side of Leona too. Leona's meant to be an aggressive champion because of how tanky Oxy has been. They haven't been able to make a dent at all onto him, as every Zenith blade has landed and onto the support. As you see another ult coming out, the guns come out as a slow comes up. The consistent tongue lashes going onto him. As you do see, his team is there as well, though. Now the face breaker comes out. Okay. Vi's right in the middle of the fight, but he's going to get taken down. Haymaker coming and slams him against the wall. Mint is taken down immediately as well, as it all comes down to the Yams. And the Poppy pretty much soloing the Misfortune. On the other side, another 3-for-1 on the side of Corsairs, and I think they'll take that for the Baron too.
Yeah, 3-for-1, 3 people dead on the side of Corsairs, and with a Cassiopeia, there's no reason OGA can't turn this into a Baron. We'll see if Victor, Exo, and Gargasly are able to make it in time to try and stop this, or whether they decide to at all. Looks like when it's halfway dead, looks like they're just going to base and concede the Baron already. And that is going to be a big swing going back the way of OGA right now, taking their gold lead up to 2,500. And we see another wonderful use of the Tahm Kench ultimate there, taking them into the top lane. Amazing rotations coming out from Oxy with this Tahm Kench ult. Of course, I am just memeing, but I'm loving these little Kappa uses of the Abyssal Voyage, taking them from one place to another. And how often do you see a Tahm Kench ult used truly effectively anyway?
We are seeing the TP bot lane from the York. I think he's going to try to summon down the Maiden and be pushing bot as much as he can, but we are seeing backs coming out too, so they are going to go ahead and not try to push this lane any further. The pings are coming out, so they have spotted him. Probably dissuade him to go any further, but Mitt knows that as well, as he sees them all back off and leave it be. A Dragon is also up another 20 seconds. Corsair do have, sorry, OGA do have 2 drags for themselves. No, I'm right. Yeah, Corsairs. Yeah,
Corsairs
do have 2
drags.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. 2 for themselves, so they all get this. They will be at Soul Point and Ocean Drake, and all the regeneration will be absolutely amazing on their team, especially on the side of the Tahm Kench, the Poppy, and the set as well. Be extremely tanky, but OG don't want to give this up for free. The Dragon is already started.
Yorick is back in top lane.
The exit goes right into the pit, but it goes out immediately. The bullet time comes out, but does absolutely nothing. That bullet time, if you saw it, the damage was almost minimal. It barely even scratched them.
Yeah, as you mentioned early on, The damage just isn't quite here for Super Yams yet. The Piercing Darkness heal is going to come across and be able to pretty much nullify the entire bullet time. So a 10-second cooldown Q on the center for a big ultimate for Misfortune feels pretty bad.
Yorick is there on the tower surface, comes out, the tower does go down. But Father just does so much damage. Just another Q will do it. Another heroic charge. And and Yorick should be dead. On the other side, Tomkins is killed by Newman under tower. My God, Poppy still chasing him down. The flash does come out, but it will not be enough. Poppy does get the soul kill on top lane against the Yorick. His tank on tank balance is absolutely phenomenal. A stun does stop the charge for just a little bit longer, but these are Baron minions. The bottom base turret will go down, as will the inhibitor. And I think OGA. Okay, so they will go ahead and go mid and try to get a bit more objectives out of this.
An actual
They're
good
tearing
use.
down the base. Yeah, great use in fact. Quick rotations, and they will try.
I actually like that. Oxy gets a nice Abyssal Voyage there. You know, we see in patches gone by where Rise ults, Realm Warps have been used to do similar situations. It's good to see a Tahm-Kench Abyssal Voyage be able to come out and do a similar thing. It's the small things that make me happy as a caster, and things like that, small little rotations, that don't make me happy to cast a Tahm-Kench. Typically a boring champion because all he does is disengage, doesn't particularly enjoy going forward, but when we see the full usage of his kit coming out, it's good to see. I'm enjoying it. The game state though, the kill score looks very similar to how it did last game, and ultimately since that Baron fight, or the fight before the Baron, the game was quite close, but OGA have just managed to snowball it out of control, it feels like. They've got the Baron, they've taken it to a bot lane inhibitor as well. They've still got time to make things happen with this downed inhibitor bot lane. 2 minutes until the Baron spawns, and that inhib is going to be still sending super minions down the bot lane. So obviously the best place to have an inhibitor down is that bot lane, and when the Baron spawns with all of the pressure coming from supers, it's going to make it a lot easier for OGA to secure themselves a second Baron, because of the early pressure from Newman. It's unlikely that we're going to see a soul point, because OGA, Omega Gaming Alpha, have got priority over these Drakes now, but early on Newman was good at securing them, bought himself 2 Drakes, which is essentially 10 minutes of time before a soul point comes out.
Now we do see Baja fighting the top lane against mid though, but mid is putting out so much damage as the Showstopper comes on. So is the center ult. Baja, which is 2-on-1, is not going to be able to live though. Which does go down, but we did see mid though actually out damaging the set in the fight too. So that's definitely a huge sign to see as you see the Triforce and the Sterix on the side of the Yorick. So he has gone for a much more damage type build as they try to lock down the top lane tower as well to get more objectives down. They're trying to break apart Corsair one by one here.
Yeah, Min was probably able to take that on his own. Fighting top, maybe.
The comes down, the Solar Zephyr, and the Solar Flare locks down too. Top lane tower is able to go to the bullet time comes down. It just... OGA is walking with just slivers of health under center with the shadows, so I'm able to see exactly who is where. With Pride at the back, they get slowed down a little bit by the bullet time, but we do see Vi coming around the side. She goes in onto the castle, but she goes golden. Tom catching the disengage, actually beautifully set her presence onto the Victor. They just really have to walk away, and Vi with the twin. With the Fen Fangs able to take down Vi. Center take down Misfortune. Lena going down a double kill on the side of the Cassiopeia. These fight lanes going down top too, but. And again, with more Twin Fangs, Oxy's able to take down kill onto Exo, stealing it away from the Cassio, preventing her from getting the triple. And on both sides, with all these skirmishes going down, Poppy goes down top to be able to help down his jungler. But Corsairs are falling apart of 4 for nothing.
Yep, overall, 4 for nothing, as you say, and OGA kite that fight out so perfectly, baiting in Corsairs. Newman had the flash Q charged up. He manages to get on top of Pride's, but Pride's perfectly timed stopwatch baits all of Corsairs in, and they're not done yet.
Solar comes out yet again, but they want to be able to lock down somebody. As it centers the stun, the Leona, the Vault Pusher is not able to catch anybody and simply have to walk away on the side of Corsair, and Baja is going to take the Ocean Drake too. That's 3 Ocean Drakes on the side of OGA. They're gonna have so much regen. They are now at Soul Point as well, though. So Corsairs have to stop this next strike at all costs, because the regen already, with the consistent disengages that they're able to do with the Tom Kench, with the Poppy being able to consistently move back and forth, it is absolutely huge here. The Poppy's able to lock down the Vi here. The stun comes out, goes into the Dragon Pit. Sorry, that goes into the Baron Pit. Sorry. Okay, the Solar Flare comes down, is able to get to Tomcat, swallows the Leona. Facebreaker locks her against the wall. Sorry, not Facebreaker. Heroic Charge locks her against the wall. It's an easy pickup yet again. That should be Baron on the side of OGA. And Corsairs can't afford to get picked out like that.
No, Newman is nowhere to be found. He's just walking bot lane, trying to take his golems. Baron goes the way of OGA. And that is likely going to be the game here, I'd like to say. I don't want to preempt it too much, but when they've got one open inhib bot lane, a downed inhib top lane, and a 8,000 gold lead, Omega Gaming Alpha looking in a very strong position to take this game. They're going to look to pressure this final inhibitor turret. They're going to take that absolutely free. And same with the middle inhibitor.
There are super minions in the base on almost all 3 sides. Are going to want to take down the bot inhib too. They're not going to let a single objective stand. Of course, they need to make a final fight here, as the Casio is backing. I'm going to probably buy a final item.
Look, bot lane
because actually the Yorick top lane, yeah. Yorick is top lane. He's able to get the inhib, but the Casio will likely be able to shut him down. Mint is almost done. But we do see OGA engaging onto the base, cutting the super minions alive. Mint is almost dead here.
The Baron are doing so much.
I just missed him. As the Facebreaker comes out, the Showstopper is able to kidnap a Vi. Also, immediately with Solar Flare come down onto the set here, is able to get the shutdown gold onto him with the popular in the middle of the fight. Oxy devours him and spits her right back out. Santa putting out so much damage on the back end. He heals as well too, with the Leona right in the middle of the fight, but not able to do much more. The Poppy can take down as well to the shutdown. But by the Misfortune stunned, but that will mean nothing at all, as the inhib still goes down, and OGA with a clean 2-0. Beautiful stuff by them. Man, the second day was definitely not a stop, but you could see at their practice, they knew what they were doing. They got themselves back into the game after a bit of a rough and early game. Great stuff by them. And definitely, I do have to give my hats off to the set. I did doubt you, my friend, but you proved me wrong. Good job to Wolf.
Yeah, definite improvement from game 1 for Corsair, but the trajectory of the game was ultimately the same. Corsairs do fall. They take an extra sort of 8 minutes or so to go down this game, and they managed to keep the game neutral, and for a large part of it, I'd say they were ahead. The first 10 minutes, Corsairs looked very strong, looked like they could have definitely taken this game. Despite Mint's score, he was always applying pressure in a side lane, and it looked like he could have taken a couple of inhibs maybe, if just a few more things had gone their way. But ultimately, they were defeated in this series. It is a 2-0, the side of Omega Gaming. Any final thoughts on the series, Ravishing?
I mean, I gotta say, man, I definitely did doubt OG's comp at the beginning, but they went ahead and proved me wrong, especially with the Senna, Tom Kench bot lane being able to stay patient, kite out their team, shutting, and with the set coming down to getting into a 5-1 lead very early on, though. Good job by both teams. A really good show from Corsairs in the second game, though. But unfortunately, the better team did win. But you know what, though? It was good. It was beautiful games overall. Exciting stuff. And I had a really awesome time, though. But that's gonna be everything from us down here at Omega Esports League. I've been Ravish, joined here by Rude. I do hope you join us again for another game very, very soon. I'll be coming in on Monday, right here at 8 p.m. on Omega Esports. Thank you and good night.